July 2014. The Varna coastline stretched beneath a burning sun, bright, serene, deceptively calm. Lars Mittank and his group of friends were days into a week-long summer break, their spirits high and laughter easy. For Lars, it was meant to be a chance to escape the gray routine of everyday life in Germany. The promise of sun, sea, and freedom filled his thoughts. On July 5th, the weather was perfect, cloudless skies, the salty breeze carrying the faint hum of distant music. Lars and his friends gathered for a casual game of football on the beach. Barefoot and carefree, they chased the ball across the warm sand, the sound of their voices mingling with the crashing waves. It was during one sprint that Lars felt it, a sudden, sharp pain in his right knee. He stumbled, barely catching himself before a fall. The laughter died down. His knee had twisted awkwardly. Immediate swelling set in, the skin reddening and taut. Lars tried to shake it off, but the pain was persistent, gnawing, and insistent. The group's mood shifted. They debated what to do. Some urged rest, others suggested ignoring it, hoping it was just a strain. By nightfall, the swelling had worsened. Lars found himself limping, discomfort turning into a steady ache. Sleep was restless, broken by twinges of sharp pain whenever he moved. The next morning, Lars made a decision. They were in a foreign country. The uncertainty about medical care nagged at him. He couldn't let the injury go untreated. The group agreed to seek medical help. A local doctor was found in a small clinic near the beach. Inside the clinic's cramped waiting room, the scent of antiseptic hung heavy. The walls were pale yellow, chipped in places. Lars sat quietly, wincing as he shifted his weight off the injured knee. The doctor, an older man with a heavy accent, examined the swollen joint carefully. His fingers pressed, flexed, and tested. His expression was unreadable. "Sprain," he finally said. Scribbling a prescription for antibiotics and painkillers, he advised rest and to avoid strain. Lars left the clinic with the medication, hopeful but uneasy. The pain lingered, a constant reminder that something was wrong. That injury, minor on the surface, would be the thread pulling him into a nightmare far beyond the sunny beaches of Varna. The morning of July 7th was clear but cool, the kind of day that suggested change. Lars woke with a stiff knee but pushed himself to join his friends for breakfast. The group chatted easily. Plans for the day floated between the promise of sunbathing and exploring the seaside town. Yet beneath his usual jovial manner, Lars carried a growing unease. The pain in his knee persisted, but something else had begun to gnaw, a sense of being watched. The day's events seemed ordinary, yet in hindsight, every small moment gained new weight. At lunch, Lars and his friends visited a local cafe near the beach. As they ate, Lars noticed a man at another table who seemed to glance repeatedly in their direction. The man was bulky, with a tattoo visible on his forearm, but when Lars caught his eye, the man looked away quickly. Lars said nothing, but a seed of anxiety planted itself. Later that afternoon, while resting in their rented apartment, Lars received a phone call from a Bulgarian man, a stranger who claimed to know about the altercation that had taken place 2 days earlier. The altercation, a brief but tense confrontation in a Varna bar involving Lars and several local men, had been dismissed by his friends as a minor incident. But the call suggested otherwise. The voice was low, clipped, warning Lars to be careful, to watch his back. Paranoia crept deeper. Lars began locking doors, checking windows obsessively, and jumping at sounds. His friends noticed the change. They tried to reassure him. The injury, the stress, the heat, it was all getting to him. But Lars was no longer listening. July 8, 2014. Varna Airport hummed with the usual midsummer bustle. Families returning from holiday, tourists rushing to catch flights, vendors selling snacks under the glare of fluorescent lights. Lars Mittank moved through this crowd like a man unraveling. His gait was uneven, his injured knee swathed in a bulky brace. But it was his eyes that told the story, wide, watchful, haunted. Security cameras captured moments that would later become chilling clues in a mystery that baffled authorities worldwide. He checked his phone repeatedly, eyes flicking over the screen as if waiting for a message that might never come. Minutes stretched into hours. He paced the terminal, occasionally ducking into shops, buying snacks, but always with an air of urgency, as though hiding, as though hunted. At one point, Lars engaged in a brief, whispered phone call with his mother in Germany. His voice was low, strained, speaking in fragmented sentences about danger, about not trusting anyone, about plans to disappear. Then the footage showed something extraordinary. Lars climbing a chain-link fence at the edge of the airport grounds. His movements were swift, tense, and desperate. He looked back over his shoulder multiple times as if pursued by invisible shadows. The fence led to a wooded area, dark, dense, unknown. After he scaled it, Lars was never seen again. Officially, the Bulgarian police launched a search. They combed the woods, checked surveillance, and questioned airport staff. But no trace of Lars emerged. His friends back in Germany were bewildered and alarmed. The man who had joked and laughed just days before was now a ghost. As days passed, rumors swirled. Had Lars fled voluntarily, gripped by a sudden paranoia? Had he fallen victim to foul play? Or had something else taken him into the shadows? The trail grew colder with every passing hour. After Lars vanished into the dense woodland beyond Varna Airport, Bulgarian authorities faced an uphill battle. Initial search teams combed the surrounding forests, calling his name into the thick air. Helicopters scanned from above, their spotlights piercing the darkness. Dogs traced faint scents, but every trail grew cold. His phone was silent. No calls, no messages. Lars' family flew to Bulgaria, desperate for answers. They urged police to widen the search. His mother, speaking on German media, pleaded, "Please find my son. He wouldn't just disappear." The case drew international attention. Headlines speculated wildly. Was Lars running from danger, a victim of local criminal gangs, or consumed by a sudden mental breakdown? Police reports mentioned that Lars exhibited signs of paranoia in his final hours. The CCTV showed a man acting erratically, hiding food in bushes, avoiding contact, whispering into his phone. Some suggested drugs might have played a role. Others suspected something darker. Detectives considered several scenarios. Foul play. Had someone at the airport or in Varna targeted Lars after his fight? Mental health crisis. Was his behavior a result of acute psychosis triggered by stress or injury? Voluntary disappearance. Did Lars plan to vanish, orchestrating an escape from perceived threats? None of these led to conclusive evidence. Bulgarian authorities closed formal searches months later but left the case open. Lars was officially listed as missing, presumed dead by some, but no body or physical evidence was ever found. Years slipped by, but the questions remained. Online communities and amateur investigators pieced together fragments of the story, creating timelines, sharing CCTV frames, and debating theories. The mystery deepened. Lars Mittank's fate turned into a digital age enigma. Videos of his erratic behavior at the airport went viral. Forums debated every gesture, every glance. Some saw signs of fear, others of something more sinister. Theories blossomed. Had Lars been targeted by the Bulgarian mafia? Was he caught in a web of espionage or political intrigue? Or did untreated mental illness alone drive him to vanish into the wilderness? None of these theories was ever proven. No credible leads surfaced. His family continued to search quietly, holding on to hope while grappling with unbearable uncertainty. The Bulgarian authorities maintained that the case was open but stalled by a lack of evidence. Today, Lars Mittank remains a ghost on CCTV, a figure frozen in time. His disappearance stands as a chilling reminder of how quickly a holiday can turn into a nightmare, and how thin the line between reality and fear can become. If you have any information about Lars Mittank or his disappearance, please contact the appropriate authorities. The shadows around Lars Mittank's disappearance stretch wide and deep, a mystery that remains unresolved, haunting, and chilling. For the families of the missing, the search never ends, and neither should the truth.